What's good, R&B Squad? This is Heart of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new here, welcome. We don't believe that you're here by accident. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. So I have two separate words, and they may tie into each other. As you listen, you'll know which word is for you, okay? So the first one comes from a dream I had. They both come from a dream I had, but I'll go with this one first. In this dream, there was a woman preparing a meal. And she looked into the pot and she could see that there was something missing. So she added something to it. And even after she added something to it, she had guests and her family members to feed, okay? So even after adding something to it, like an added ingredient, she realized that it still wasn't ready. So she waited until it looked as though it was properly cooked and there was enough of it. And then she took it off the stove and prepared to serve it, okay? Now the Lord took me to Leviticus chapter 23, verse 22, and that reads, "And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not reap or cut your field right up to its edge, nor shall you gather the gleanings after your harvest." Okay? Now the meal in the pot, there was something missing from it. And even after she added the missing ingredients, it still wasn't finished. It wasn't ready to be prepared. For someone, this is you and your kingdom spouse. The Lord has told you that this is your season to come together, but there is still a little bit of a delay, and you're wondering, well, what's the holdup? Didn't you say that we're supposed to be together now? Didn't you say that this is our time for union? Well, here's the thing. You guys are still not completely ready to come into the fullness of your union, okay? The Lord is saying, do not cut corners. You guys are going to be trying to cut corners, both of you, you and your person, because of the fact that you guys want to get to the part where you can come into union so badly. Let's be real here. Y'all want to get to the part where you can be man and wife. Y'all want to get to the part where you can make love and all that good stuff. And that stuff will come. But the Lord is saying, do not cut corners. He also showed me an equilateral triangle, okay? You, your person, and God have to meet each other in the right spots. You guys have to be on equal terms. There cannot be any cutting of corners. Nothing can be half prepared, okay? Until you guys come into the fullness of your preparation, then you guys can truly come together. And you need to seek the Lord individually. Everyone under the sound of my voice, seek the Lord individually and find out what it is the missing ingredient. What else do you have to do? What else do you have to change? What else do you have to work on? Okay, and the Lord will reveal it to you. So, there was another dream that I had, and in this dream, I got this letter and this postcard. And before I even opened it up, I had a feeling that it came from a particular person. And it turned out when I opened it up that I was right. It came from an ex of mine, okay? And why I knew that it was from him was because I knew that he liked to do that kind of thing. He was the type of person that would, send the postcards with the embossing on it, the embossment or whatever they call the fancy stuff, the embossed postcards. He liked that kind of thing. So he used to do that on a regular basis, okay? But ultimately, it doesn't matter what someone does. If they're not God's pick for you, it doesn't work, okay? And that's a whole other word in itself. Now, the letter, when I read it, and the postcard, I did not really go into detail. I did not read all of the details, but the gist of it was that he was saying that he missed me, okay? So for some of you, remember the word that the Lord gave us the other day about your past coming calling and coming as if they're coming in peace, or it's coming in peace? You guys need to be real careful about that. Some of you are going to be hearing from exes that you have not heard from in a long time, and they may actually do what looks like they may make what actually looks like a nice gesture. They might send you something. You might just get flowers from them. You might just get a postcard from them, or something like that along those lines, all right? Or a greeting card. The Lord is saying, just be careful, okay? He also showed me a peacock. A peacock is the male version of the bird, okay? So there are peahens and peacocks. And the peacock was strutting his stuff. He was showing off his tail feathers and all of that, okay? The Lord is saying, even though it was a peacock that I was shown, and this can apply to a female, it can also apply to a male. So get in where you fit in, okay? The Lord is saying that you're going to have a lot of different people vying for your attention romantically, all right? Now, your person may feel that he or she has to compete with these people. So be careful of what you do and whom you entertain. And then the Lord led me to something about peacocks by someone named Marion Petrie, okay? And Marion Petrie says that peahens choose their mates based on the size and shape of the mate's tail. This makes sense in evolutionary terms because the largest tail would indicate a healthy bird and a better chance for healthy offspring. So basically, the peahen chooses her mate based on what she sees, on the grandest gesture made by whichever peacock she chooses, okay? So how that can translate to your situation is that you're going to have a lot of people, like in the dream where my ex sent this fancy note with this calligraphy on it and all that. There are going to be a bunch of different people who are going to be making grand gestures and showing off to get your attention, all right? Do not go by the grand gestures. Pay attention to the heart of the person, to what the Lord has revealed to you about the person's heart. And this could in particular be for persons who have not met their kingdom spouse yet. Understand that there's the choices that you're going to be presented with that are not God's choice, and then there's God's choice. Okay? Don't go by what you see. Don't go by the grand gestures. Don't go by the showing off, more or less. Go by what the Lord reveals to you about the person's heart. And for those of you who already know who your kingdom spouse is, and this is actually going to happen to you in a short time, or it's happening to you right now, please do not go by what you see. Don't go by who looks like they're doing this and that, and people who are sending you bouquets of flowers to tell you that they're sorry. Forget about all that. Wait patiently for the situation where the Lord wants you to be, the situation the Lord wants you to be in, to come into the fullness of its blossoming. Okay? Wait for that. So I hope that this word bless someone, and I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.